Again, another day, and you can see right there, more of these lines are being sprayed in our sky. Now, this is not a regular condensation trail like the media is telling you it is. Whenever you ask questions, what are these chemtrails? What are those lines that are being sprayed in our sky? Sometimes they're spread in zigzag motions, and they just ruin beautiful skies, beautiful days. What exactly is it? Because it's not melting away into the sky like a condensation trail. It's literally a chemical trail. Take a very close look at it, how it's going to form. And I want you to take a look at that one right there, that little line. That was a quick little line, and that line right there is going to turn into a cloud. This big line right there is as well going to turn into a cloud, a very long cloud. And I'm actually going to film for a little while here. I'm going to turn off my camera a few times as time goes by, probably take about an hour here talking to a friend, and you're going to see how that line is slowly going to turn into a cloud. Well, not very slowly, it's actually very rapid. Within an hour that thing turned into a cloud, but right now as I'm talking, you're seeing how it's slowly starting to spread out. Now, a regular condensation trail that is left behind by certain airplanes will leave behind a straight line that will usually disappear the further the plane goes, and this line will usually be very constant, and that line will simply disappear. So the further the plane goes from where it was first let off, it's when it starts to disappear, and then the last of it that was let off is still very visible until the plane's gone, and then that starts to disappear as well. That's how the condensation trail disappears. But in this case, you can see that very clearly. That thing was left there quite a while ago. It's very recent, but it wasn't left there when I was filming. This has been up there for quite a while, and it's not disappearing. And you can see right there that it starts to disappear, but not really disappear. It starts to disappear because that's where the plane stopped dumping that stuff over the sky. Or that's where it started, and then it stopped dumping. So everything that plane left behind stayed. And often people who film these things can see a plane coming in, that line's not there, and then that line begins, and then the line stops at a certain part, and then they will film the entire thing as it turns into a fake cloud right before your eyes. And there's been a lot of media sources right now, a lot of shady people that for whatever reason don't want you looking into this stuff. They want to ridicule you, they want to say that you're not seeing anything, that those are simple condensation trails. But now the new one is that they're telling people that this is what they're using to fight global warming. Now when you look at that in the sky, does that look like it's fighting global warming? When you actually begin to study and look at the ingredients of this stuff, you're going to begin to see that it's poison. It's not water, it's not helping the environment. In reality, the people who breathe that in, the plants that get that stuff on it, the animals that breathe that in and receive those chemicals at the bottom here, or the things that are rained on as this stuff mixes in with actual clouds, those things are not benefiting off this. And the thing is that the same people who are saying that they're putting this in our sky to fight global warming are the same people that simply will not invest in clean fuel, clean energy. Why? Because they're too busy investing in energy that is making them a lot of money, a lot of profit, a lot of power, but is very bad for our environment. It's causing what you would call global warming or whatnot. It's causing hazards to our environment. And these are the same people trying to find a solution, you know what I'm saying, while they're charging us an arm and a leg for fuel. When we already got ways of making our fuel much more easier, much more better. But take a look at that footage. That's what that line is turning into. You see that? Now as the wind is pushing that fake cloud now, it's starting to push it down kind of behind the trees. But when you actually film away from those trees, you're going to see what that's turning into. You can see the piece of it right there, and basically that's what it is. It's a fake cloud. Now right there, so I'm filming this as time's going by. This is not all at once. This was within about like an hour and a half, and that's what I caught. So every time I turned on my camera and turned it off, turned it on, this is what I recorded. This is how this cloud came to be. This is the pieces of artwork that are being left behind by people who cannot give us a straight answer. And that milky stuff right there, that milky white stuff right there, is what those clouds are turning our skies into. And you're going to see later on in this footage, very soon actually, what in reality those lines turned the sky into for today, when it was a complete clear sky. That's what it turned our sky into. A completely gray, gloomy, dark, and in some areas just milky white, disgusting layer of what looks like real clouds, but they're not. Now, some of those may be real clouds amongst those fake clouds, but you yourself were witness here in this video, and as well in my last videos, as you can see right here, of what these lines are turning into. You are witness to what those clouds came from. And that stuff that's being sprayed into our sky is not just water, folks. It's basically poison that is supposedly the best method for fighting global warming. They gotta pump a bunch of toxic stuff. Supposedly that's better. And people are wondering why entire ponds, why entire lakes, why entire rivers, entire streams that were filled with fish, and their populations of fish are just dying, are just going belly up. People are wondering why there's drought in certain areas, why it's so hot in certain areas, and in other areas the weather is all messed up. This is what we would call, suppose, weather modification, geoengineering. But at the same time, what else could be sprayed with those things? Those chemtrails, those chemicals, whatever it is. But it's not just whatever it is. There's a lot of people who have actually went out there who have put hard research, people who are in political positions, military positions, people who are actually directly in charge or work around actually spraying that stuff in the sky has come out. People who have investigated that stuff, who have gotten that stuff tested, who have gotten the soil tested, who have gotten the air tested, gotten those clouds tested, have shown that that is nothing but poison. And why? Why are the people that are right now investing in the most fraudulent, tyrannical, and genocidal schemes in the Middle East right now, which is causing a flow of immigration and literally destroying our political landscape, everything, right down to the way that we even believe in things, our relationships with gods, our relationships with how we listen to music, even how we eat through genetically modified food. Look at genetically modified corn and how it causes cancer. And these people are trying to tell us right now that this is for fighting global warming, when for decades, when for a long time, they're ridiculing people, basically just making people look insane because they were asking what this stuff is. They wouldn't give you a straight answer, and now they're saying that it's for fighting global warming. I don't believe that. I think that it's too late for those kind of just basic and convenient answers. Something else is going on here. And these people are not investing in better energy. It looks like they're investing into more destruction for our planet, for animal species. It looks like we got a people right now that are in charge of things that are not very sane. They're not very smart. They may be good at appeasing certain parts of populations, making people think that everything's okay, but when you begin to actually weigh it out, when you begin to actually see those results for what they are, you're going to begin to see that something else is going on. Stuff that is going on that shouldn't be going on. Where we literally can do things in different ways, but for some reason we are not. For some reason we are literally allowing small groups of people to literally manipulate and destroy our planet. So I really hate to make these kind of videos and sound so gloomy and stuff like that, but we got to begin to take awareness to these things. And there's a lot of people that are out there saying, no, don't take awareness to these things. You know what I'm saying? You're wrong for that. And I say that those people are wrong for saying that. There's a lot of people that don't know what they're saying, don't know what they're doing on both ends. We're telling people not to be aware, and then there's other people that are telling people to be aware, and they're just saying a bunch of nonsense and literally like causing more trouble. But there's certain things out there that just because we don't understand them fully, it doesn't mean that we cannot take the warning signs. When people have actually come out there with real documentation, real evidence, actually showing us what's happening, and then another person who literally is the person that they're talking about is saying, no, don't expose me, don't see the truth. Well, I'm going to have to say in response to that you must open your eyes, be smart, and don't just take anybody's word for it. Begin to research this stuff for yourself, and be careful with how people are sharing information nowadays. Open your eyes and just question.